enemies into allies and bring about a conflict between heroes like we've never seen. With our favorite heroes forced to choose sides, it's time to take a look at each's motivation and loyalties and try to figure out which side of the battle each will fight on. Just a quick word of warning before we get started that there will be spoilers to previous movies, so proceed at your own risk. First up, the heroes that will most likely make up the roster for Team Captain America. Number 1, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. Steve Rogers' OG BFF was seen in the end credits of Captain America the Winter Soldier, rediscovering who he is, and again in this summer's Ant-Man post-credit scene, getting his metal arm trapped in a vice and landing in the hands of Captain America and Falcon. Considering how much time and effort these two put into finding him, it's safe to assume Cap isn't going to let him far out of his sight and will attempt to sway him to his side. Those familiar with the comics know that in the aftermath of Civil War, Bucky actually becomes Captain America, so it would seem pretty far-fetched to picture him siding with Iron Man. Number 2, Falcon. Wherever Falcon flies, it's safe to say that Captain America will be on his left. Falcon is Cap's modern-day BFF, and he has him to thank for giving him a purpose, a mission, and a place in the newest incarnation of the Avengers. After battling Hydra, any organization trying to enforce its will on the people is going to be met with some high-flying resistance from Sam Wilson. Number 3, Ant-Man. Ant-Man's comic book role in the Civil War storyline is long, complicated, and doesn't fit at all into the characters the MCU has crafted, but we can safely assume that Dr. Pym's aversion to anything with the Stark label will see him guiding Scott Lang to follow Captain America hard on this one. Even without Pym pushing him, with Scott being a convicted criminal, the idea of having to submit to anyone else's imposed authority probably isn't going to fit well into his newfound future as a hero. We also know that Falcon is eager to find him to help, so his siding with Captain America should be a no-brainer. Number 4, Hawkeye. Clint Barton has worked immensely hard to keep his private life private, so much so that most of his teammates had no idea he was even married or had a family. It would take a seriously personal and tragic undertaking to convince Hawkeye to even remotely make his life public or give anyone more information than necessary to who he truly is and what he holds dear. As long as Cap is defending that and Stark is threatening it, Iron Man better be watching for some arrows to come flying at his arc reactor. Number 5, Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff has seen inside Stark's head, seen his fears and delusions, and knows he can be bad news when left to his own devices. That and some likely residual bitterness and resentment towards him for his hand in killing her family, and we should see her avoid him like the plague when he comes proposing his well-intentioned propaganda. She's already been through torture and manipulation at the hands of a militaristic force, so we fully expect her to follow the stars and stripes. Number 6, Agent 13. We really don't know much about what happened to Agent 13 following the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. or where her loyalties lie now, but considering her and Cap's flirtation in The Winter Soldier and the fact that she's related to Cap's first love, Peggy Carter, we expect to see her side with him when things start to go south. Number 7, Black Widow. Black Widow is probably the biggest question mark. She's been a loyal servant to the government working for S.H.I.E.L.D., but she's also worked closely with Captain America to take it down when it was revealed to have been infiltrated by Hydra. She's also someone who likes their secrets and isn't going to be alright with anyone forcing her to reveal anything about her past, allegiances, or who she is at all. Despite having a good relationship with both heroes and virtually dating one half of the Science Bros, as long as Stark's initiative looks anything like manipulation, she'll likely side with the S.H.I.E.L.D. slinger. If she does end up siding with Stark, don't be surprised to find out she's been working as a double agent for Cap the whole time. Bonus, the Defenders. With Daredevil now existing in the MCU, there have been rumors that the Man Without Fear may make an appearance in the upcoming Marvel features, which would make sense considering he and the rest of his Defender associates, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones, all sided with Captain America during the comic book Civil War storyline and played big parts respectively. By the time Civil War hits, we'll have been introduced to most of these characters on the small screen, and this would be the ideal setting for them to make the leap to the big screen. And who will stick with Stark in the Marvel Civil War? Number 1, War Machine. The heavy weaponry of the new Avengers roster may be currently operating under Captain America's leadership, but Rhodey will always be Tony's guy at heart. When conflict arises, he'll always give Tony the benefit of the doubt, and even though both he and Cap are fellow soldiers, when his government says things need to change in how heroes are handled, he'll be the first to sign up and quickly become the poster boy for Tony's initiative. Number 2, Vision. Stark's baby boy sporting an Infinity Stone is definitely a wild card, but there's a lot of Stark DNA in how Vision is built. Considering a large chunk of his existence is wrapped up in the AI persona of Jarvis, it only makes sense the high-powered Avenger will likely side with Tony. The logical mind that also can see the bigger picture on a level parallel to Ultron's perspective will completely understand the validity of any measures that are necessary to ensure the safety of humans, and will probably see Captain America's resistance as futile. Number 3, Spider-Man. The movie storyline follows that of the comic books. We'll likely see new addition Spider-Man siding with Stark, at least at the beginning. While young Peter Parker may be reluctant to agree with Tony or play any part in the actual war, the fact that he's a young, impressionable teenager who's also a science geek and has grown up likely admiring Stark's heroic achievements makes him seem like a logical choice for Team Tony. He may not stay there, but he'll definitely follow Stark's lead. Number 4, Hulk. It's still unclear whether or not the Jolly Green Giant will actually appear in Civil War, but if he does, we can't see him siding with anyone but Tony. He has often shied away from public interaction thanks to his alter ego's destructive nature, so he fully grasps the need for proper training, monitoring, and control. After the events of Age of Ultron, he will likely feel defeated enough to not put up much of a fight and will more than likely actually aid Tony on the tech end of enforcing his initiative. Banner was MIA in the Civil War comic storyline, but he's the logical choice to replace Reed Richards or Henry Pym on the science end. Number 5, Black Panther. Though it's been stated that Black Panther will take a neutral stance when it comes to the heroes in fighting, with the rest of the world suddenly knocking on Wakanda's doorstep, if he's going to pick a side, it will likely be Iron Man's. He comes from a place where his heroic mantle is a birthright that carries with it the full public eye and responsibility. He sees his costume as an honorable suit of armor, not a way for cowards to hide behind masks and avoid responsibility. He has a whole country to run and will support what Stark is doing to set the stage for what must be done in his own country for the safety of his people. Number 6, bonus, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Inhumans. We have already seen MCU characters pop up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we know that they share a world that impacts each other. It would make sense for S.H.I.E.L.D. to return to the spotlight and have a presence on Iron Man's side, considering Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s first season was pretty much the same premise, only on a much smaller scale. With Cap being Coulson's hero and Iron Man being such a vital asset, he would want to bring Captain America on board with the plan they're rolling out, and it would be the perfect time for him to return to the big screen, but this time with his whole team and some Inhumans in tow to help introduce those characters to the cinematic universe. So there you have it, our picks for Team Cap and Team Tony. We're sure you have your own ideas about which heroes will side with the other guys, so head down to the comments or tweet us at Clever Movies and tell us what you think, and then click here to find out 7 things we think need to happen in the movie. I'm Danielle Robay, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon with more on Listed. Click left to find out how we ranked all 12 current Marvel Cinematic